Okay, so today guys, I wanted to do a bit of a reaction slash comparison video for Virtua and Marvel Tokon because I was reading through comments yesterday on Twitter and on my YouTube channel, and the overwhelming majority of people agree that what Virtua has been doing is really bad. But I've seen some people on social media, I'm not gonna name names because it's not to like drag them or anything like that, but there's a small group of people, I guess, there's a sentiment going around in the FGC that all we do is complain, we just switch up on these developers, and that's not true. In my opinion, there's plenty of reason to complain about plenty of different games, but I want to give you guys an example of a game that has marketed itself really well, and a game that has done it incredibly poorly, and there's multiple reasons as to why that might be. I mean, there's no denying what happened yesterday or whenever you're seeing this with the Tokyo Game Show and Virtua was bad. I mean, you don't have to take my word for it. Just look at Maximilian's reaction to this.
Is this like your world tour mode?
Got a little bit of a surprise video there. That's all we can show you for today, though.
Bro, what is happening? What is happening?
Yeah, I need to see more from there for the next opportunity to show some new gameplay. I'll definitely show it off, but this is just a little tease for today. And that's it for the new Virtua Fighter project stage here at TGS. Yamada-san, Takeda-san, Togeda-san, thank you so much for your stage presence today.
And Maximilian did that in the most respectful way possible. Without saying a single word, he expressed our opinions and our feelings towards what we saw. Obviously, a lot of us were much more expressive with our opinions, myself included, but I'm going to give you guys an example and a rundown of what I mean here. So we're going to start off with Virtua. Now, Virtua was announced in December 2024. Now, this was the teaser trailer that came with Virtua. Now, in my opinion, this is not a bad teaser at all. This is actually a really good teaser. Remember, Virtua has been going for 20 years. Yes, they've done VF5 over and over again, but an actual mainline Virtua game has not come out since the mid-2000s. That's a long time. So to whet the appetite, to get people a little bit moist, this is fine. A CG trailer is fine. I ain't got no issues with that whatsoever. And there was a lot that you could take away from the CG trailer, and a lot of us that were watching it when it was initially announced were like, okay, we knew straight away that's Akira. It's a redesign of Akira, but its fighting style is very distinct. And obviously, if you're in the fighting game community or you've played fighting games, you would have clocked straight away that's Akira right there. So this wasn't bad. The problems with Virtua started after this, but I'm going to now go over to Marvel Tokon to give you an idea of why this had problems following. And just before we go over, what they did here was the right thing, because it says Virtua is back, and then they actually dropped gameplay. And if you guys remember, when they dropped this gameplay, everybody went mental. Everybody went mental because there was something for us to sink our teeth into there. We got a CGI trailer that whets the appetite, like I said, and then we got actual gameplay, and we were like, okay, they're dropping gameplay in an announcement trailer. This game must be far along. Then you go over to Marvel Tokon's announcement trailer. And although Virtua did a really good job with whetting the appetite again, this, by comparison, blows it out of the water completely. Completely blows it out of the water. There's so much going on in this trailer and so much for you to sink your teeth into that they're not even comparable. They're night and day. Now, I'm not shitting on Virtua for doing what they did. I'm just trying to convey to people that although what they did initially wasn't bad, it's night and day. Like, this is an announcement trailer that set the world on fire. Like, I remember seeing group chats that I've not seen active for a very long time going mental when they saw this. I remember hearing from people that I hadn't heard playing fighting games for a long time messaging me going, yo, Marvel's back, because they want to start hosting tournaments and sessions. Because although Virtua gave you some gameplay, this is giving you some, like, there's some serious source here, and there's a lot to infer from what you're looking at here. I mean, I'm not even a massive fan of Marvel fighting games. I do like them, but I've never been interested in really playing them. I took one look at this and I said, yeah, I want to play this. And you know what? When I was watching it, there was a lot of things that I picked up on that, you know, you'd see in my live stream if you were watching it at the time, where I was able to clock on that I thought that this was going to be a one-on-one fighting game. Once I realized that there were 4 characters, I didn't think in the modern age that they were going to make us use 4 characters. Although you can like tag people in and use them. You don't have to. There's one life bar, which is different from the other Marvel games. So like, I was able to infer quite a bit about them going over it, which I don't feel like you really need to do that with fighting games in the fashion that they do these days, in the very boring fashion, because just looking at things, we can slow trailers down and we can, like I said, infer certain things. Obviously we'll get stuff wrong and it's good to get explanations, but seeing is believing, and you want to build some hype, and this is one of the best announcement trailers that I have ever seen. Virtua Fighters came out of the blue, and so did this, but one is astronomically better than the other. And then I want to move on to the next media that we got from Virtua Fighter. Now, initially when I saw this, I thought it was super cool, but as time has gone on, it's become one of the more sour points for me, because when you saw this initially, you probably didn't realize that this was ripped from Dragons Forever featuring Jackie Chan and Benny the Jet. And when we were watching this, we were like, oh my god, this looks like the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. But as we know now, the game is not going to be like this. And it kind of sours you a little bit, because it's like, man, you know, you kind of set people's expectations super high. Now, I could be completely wrong. Like I said yesterday, RGG and the Virtua Fighter team and Sega, they always put out quality. So can they achieve this? Probably not to a T, but I think they could get pretty close. I do, but it's just, it doesn't seem like the best move, in my opinion, to showcase a graphics card. I think that's what they were doing, and use a game that is unreleased and highly anticipated, because now we're going to look back on this footage one day and be like, man, what could have been? What could have been? So in my opinion, this was not a good move for Virtua Fighter. I think this is where the problems start to begin, because this is where we start to realize that we're getting drips and drabs of information. Now, the next trailer that we get from Marvel Tokon showcases a bunch of content creators who are super hyped about the game, which is going to build more hype for the game. I believe this is the closed beta. And again, it's just a super hype trailer. There's more gameplay in there. We can see what's going on. We can see how everyone feels about it. People are excited to see themselves in a trailer. So these guys know what they're doing. And, you know, I was talking to some people and they were like, this is just how Japanese developers are. But as far as I'm aware, these are also Japanese developers. So I don't really want to lean on that excuse. And even if that is something that goes on in Japan, they're not just making the game for Japanese audiences. So if that is their line of thinking, they need to reevaluate it, because it's not going to work on a worldwide basis. We do expect better. And I don't think the Japanese public feels like that anyway, because when I saw their comments to the Virtua Fighter team, they were exactly like ours. As a matter of fact, they were quote retweeting me. They're still quote retweeting me on Twitter with the pushback that I had for the Virtua Fighter team. Now, I did see one of the Virtua Fighter developers saying that they feel like they're doing the right thing. And I gotta say, I feel like you're doing the wrong thing. I feel like Marvel Tokon's doing the right thing. So this is the second trailer that comes out. So already you can see how Marvel Tokon is building the hype. But then we get this from Virtua Fighter. Now, when this got shown off to us, I really thought, okay, these are the announcement trailers that are coming out. It's gonna be like Tekken, but they're gonna do it even better. They're gonna take what Tekken did with the character announcement trailers and releasing them weekly, which was a good idea. You know, it kept the hype train going. Trailers could have been a little bit better than what they were, but they did keep the hype train going. And I thought they were going to take it to the next level, and they were showcasing here the graphics. You can even see the effects on his body when his muscles are moving. They're showing off the power that Virtua Fighter 6 has, and in my mind I was like, okay, cool, the presentation that is coming up is going to be insane. And it was anything but, because all the presentation did was show us what we had already seen, which was this trailer which had come out half an hour beforehand. And I don't know why they did that. I don't know why you would announce a presentation for everyone to tune into and then show us the same trailer. That kills the hype. And there are people online saying that these gamers, people like me for example, are going to kill the hype around Virtua Fighter. But I feel like these are fair criticism. I mean, like I said, Sega, RGG, the Virtua Fighter team, as far as I'm concerned, have never failed me. I mean, obviously Sega's the publisher, but the studio, RGG, and the Virtua Fighter team have never failed me. So I don't believe the game is going to be bad. I believe the game is going to be good. Even if the marketing sucks, the game is going to be good. I truly believe that. And I believe that when it comes out, we're all going to have a great time with it. I do believe that. But it's important for this game to be marketed correctly, because they are going up against Tekken. And 3D fighters are not as positively received as 2D fighters One of those reasons is because they're harder to get into, and I have no doubt this game is going to be tough to play. Most Virtua Fighter games are pretty tough. I mean, they're easy to button mash on and you can play it, but to get really good at them, they're very difficult because they're very big and expansive. And you're trying to get a new audience, and you're trying to steal some of that already pretty niche audience over at Tekken, and you're not promoting the game properly. So this trailer drops. This trailer's great. It's great. Like, it looks awesome. Wolf looks absolutely incredible. I'm very happy with it. I just don't like the fact that you dropped the trailer on Twitter an hour and half an hour before the presentation. You do a presentation, we're all sitting there like, alright, again, killing the hype. Now, you contrast this with Marvel Tokon, and I believe this is the third trailer that we get, or third video, where they do a beginner's guide. So they're jumping right in, teaching people about the game. Again, I want to stress that Virtua Fighter was announced in December 2024, and this was announced in June 2025. We are now in September. There's only been a couple of months. These guys had a real plan. They understood how to market the game. They understood how to grab people's attention, how to keep them locked in. And we have been locked into Marvel Tokon. Everybody is hyped for this game, including myself, who does not play 2D fighters very often, and definitely doesn't play these kinds of 2D fighters. I really want to play this game. Now, I don't know how long I'm going to play this game, but the fact of the matter is that they've kind of got my sale. They've already put in characters in the game that I want to play, like Ghost Rider and Doctor Doom. There's like, what, you build a team of 4? 2 more people, and I've got a full team. So this is how you build hype. This is how you market a game. Now, some people are going to argue that this game is way ahead of Virtua Fighter in terms of development. But then I would ask, why would you even show a Virtua Fighter in the first place? I mean, these guys came prepared. And this is how, especially in the fighting game genre where things are an extreme niche, these guys came prepared with loads of footage, betas ready for us to play. You would think that Virtua Fighter would have done the same thing, given the fact that Virtua Fighter was already a niche. It's already going to be competing with the juggernaut of the 3D fighting games, which is going to be Tekken 8. You'd think that they would have had more prepared, more for people to play, to get their hands on, to understand the control schemes. They would create videos like this where they're breaking down the systems. Instead, Virtua Fighter did I guess like a press conference, not even a press conference, it was just they were on stage telling us how things were going to work. They weren't showing us in the same depth that Marvel Tokon is. They showed us things that we already saw. We'd never seen these things from Marvel Tokon before. We'd never seen them before. And I don't understand what was going through their minds when they were doing that. I mean, just this alone would build hype, because, okay, now we understand how double jumping works, how air dashing works. And even though those are obvious things, they're showing it to us in gameplay. Virtua Fighter didn't do that. The Virtua Fighter team put out this trailer and it did show off gameplay. It looks really good. We still don't really know who Stella is and why she's not Sarah, but it does look really good. It looks like they've taken time to develop a game that is going to be for those that just love good old hand-to-hand combat like old martial arts films. And more of this would have been great, but this is all that we got, and this is all that was at TGS. There was nothing new in terms of gameplay. The most frustrating thing about TGS as well is that although this clip built hype, this clip was not from TGS. This was from a separate game show. I can't remember the name of the game show, but it was about a month ago. They'd already shown this off. So for us, we're like, well, you've got 2 characters there that are fighting. Why didn't you just extend it and show the whole round? And they didn't do that. And you would think to yourself, you know, again, this game it's not gonna have the easiest time because of the market it's in and the competitor that it's had. And they're drip feeding people, and I don't really understand why. And these are 2 fighting games where one of the developers, you can't say anything negative about them, about how they've put the game across at all, how they've marketed the game. They've done it perfectly. So it's not like we want to just sit here and shit on Virtua Fighter. It's nothing like that. I mean, I want this game to succeed. I'm a 3D game player. But if you take this, which is what is at TGS, and then you look at what Marvel Tokon was showing off on TGS, it is night and day. I mean, we get to see new angles of these characters. You get to see all your 4 characters coming in. Now we're like, okay, cool. This is all new footage. We've got hands-on with the game. We get an idea of, like, I believe this is like the loading screen, which I'm very happy to look at. It's building up to the fight. There's aura there. It's very exciting. And you can see again, one has only had like what 4 to 5 months worth of, like, I guess, screen time to like get itself out there. The other one it's coming up to a year, and it's been basically nothing the entire time. So now we know how Marvel Tokon starts up, and we get to see these new characters, Ghost Rider, who I'm personally super excited for, and Spider-Man. Obviously not like new characters, but new to the roster. And this gameplay footage has been uploaded online. Again, building hype. People are super excited for this. Again, you contrast the content creators' reactions to how they've been marketing this game and Virtua, and it's night and day. And it's not because this is just Marvel. I mean, obviously that would build hype, but people like Virtua. They want to like the game. They want to get involved in it. And it's just, I do not understand why they're doing what they're doing, and that's all people are really saying here. And I wanted to make this video so people understand it's not a case of we want to shit on fighting game developers and we're never happy. We are happy, and this is proof of it. I have nothing negative to say about Marvel Tokon, nothing at all. And people are like, well, why don't you make videos about it if you have positive things to say? And that doesn't make any sense to me. My live streams will be on Marvel Tokon because we're going to play it because it's a good game, but I feel like my videos are more for like, what could we be doing better? Not, oh, the game's really good, well done. I mean, they're doing what I expect people to be doing, what other games do in the lead up to their release. And that's it really. Like that's kind of the message that I wanted to convey to people, because I know some people were saying that fighting game players are doomers. It's not that at all. It's just, again, it's night and day in terms of putting something across. They're doing a fantastic job here. And I hope that Virtua looks at what's going on here, because these are Japanese developers as well. And they see how excited people are for this game in such a short space of time. Granted, they are leaning on existing Marvel IPs and they're going to be massively hyped. But within the world of the FGC, that sentiment should extend to Virtua. And if you look at the trailer views, they're like up in the millions for Virtua. So there's a lot of interest there. People want it to do well. I want it to do well. I just want them to get their act together, because they're seemingly not getting their act together, and it's very frustrating as somebody in the 3D fighting game space that wants to see the game do well. So that's all I got for you guys today. Just wanted to clear that up, that we're not just dooming. It's nothing like that, because if that was the case, this might be the most anticipated release for a fighting game coming up. And if I wanted to get views on dooming or posting negative stuff, then why would I not post about this? Because it wouldn't make any sense. It wouldn't make any sense whatsoever. And everyone would be like, what's going on? But the reason that people are getting onto Virtua is that we all know what's going on here, even if we don't want to say it. And I understand some of the Virtua diehards are like, please don't start shitting on our game. And like I said, I'm not. I want it to do well. I really, really do. But you need to call things out, otherwise they will not improve. We want this for Virtua. So let me know what you guys think about that, and I'll catch you guys very soon. Take care and peace.